This is an introduction video on how to glue up material. In our woodshop, this is one of the most fundamental tasks that we need to complete before we start building our projects. I'd like to start by having you think of wood as just a bunch of straws. And to demonstrate this, I can take a solid piece of wood and blow bubbles through the end. Thinking of wood as straws and using compression to push glue in between the straws can create a joint that sometimes is stronger than the wood itself. We use wood glue to glue together all of our projects, panels, and sometimes the faces of boards. For this introduction, we're going to demonstrate how we glue together multiple pieces to create a panel. When edge gluing or gluing up panels, we need to begin by making sure that we have straight 90-degree edges. Wood glue is often yellow in color. The color doesn't matter in this video, and you'll see I'll be using white Rue glue, which is a company name. Our wood glue is water soluble and is easily cleaned up with a wet rag. To work properly, the glue needs to be applied and the material needs to be compressed so that the glue can press into the straws. We can do this in a number of ways, but primarily we use clamps. So let's begin by identifying some different clamps. First, an F-clamp. The basic components are the jaws, the handle, and the spring-loaded tabs. The two jaws are closed by just pressing them together. To open the jaws, depress one side of the little spring-loaded tab at the bottom of the jaw. A bar clamp has a similar component to the F-clamp, except we use these more for gluing up wide panels or multiple pieces of material that are larger in size. The back side of the jaws closes by pressing it towards the front, and the spring-loaded tabs are released to open it back up. Preparing to glue up is as important as anything else in this process. First, your material should have straight 90-degree edges. You're going to want to have a full glue bottle, a wet rag, and enough clamps. But before you start slathering glue all over your material, you always want to complete what's called a dry clamp up first. This is you clamping up your boards without glue and making sure that they go together correctly and that nothing needs to be addressed before you start spreading glue. Now that the dry clamp up has been completed, simply put a conservative amount of glue on both edges that you are going to glue together. And spread it with one of your 10 glue spreaders that are attached to the ends of your arms. When you tighten the clamps, a small bead of glue will squeeze out between each board. So take your wet rag and clean all the excessive glue off of both sides. Also, clean up more of the bench than you think you need. This way, drops of glue won't dry on our bench and create a non-flat surface for us to work on. Writing your name in pencil big and 1 hour from the time that you complete your glue up will make it easier for you to find your boards the next day and make sure others don't unclamp your material too early. We also glue up using F-clamps. Same idea, glue bottle, wet rag, and enough clamps. The one difference is when you're using F-clamps, we're going to use these sacrificial boards to elevate the material up off the bench. Because we want to make sure that the F-clamp is centered on the edge of our material. Pretty much everything is the same. Complete a dry clamp up, spread glue on all the edges that you want to adhere to each other, and start clamping it up. Keep your material as flat as possible and center your F-clamp on the edge of your material. Once you have all of your clamps evenly spaced on your glue up, remember to clean up all the glue squeeze out, write your name on it, and clean up more of the bench than you think you need. We're going to want to reuse that rag. All you have to do is go to a sink and kind of squeeze out all the glue with some cold or warm water. Once you get all the excess glue out, hang it up and we can use it again. This concludes the introductory video on how to glue up material. Thanks for watching. Let's get back in the shop and let's get back to building.